We've each been touched by Eldon's kindness, by his generosity, his love.
Today on CCX News, a larger-than-life figure in Brooklyn Park is laid to rest. Eldon Tessman died last week at the age of 95. Tessman was a family man, a potato farmer, and a supporter of various organizations throughout the northwest suburbs. Many of the people he touched over the years gathered at Brooklyn United Methodist Church Tuesday morning to celebrate his life.
Reflecting back on all that his life was and all that he meant to each of us, it's impossible to picture this place without him. And not just because of the big red barn still standing on 85th, but because of the life that he cultivated for 95 years, moment by moment, with each of us. We love you, Grandpa.
That big red barn on 85th Avenue is one of the last remnants of Brooklyn Park's potato farming past. Tessman was crowned the state potato king at the age of 16 and grew Pride of Brooklyn Park brand potatoes on that land until 1976. During the funeral service, family and friends reflected on his contributions to education, the friendships he developed, and his association with potatoes.
It's a gift to have known and loved people in this world. So love those around you and eat potatoes. I mean, every time you eat a potato, think about Eldon.
The University of Minnesota offers the Eldon and June Tessman Fellowship to graduate students studying potato breeding and genetics. Quick work by Maple Grove firefighters prevented a fire from spreading to multiple units in a townhome complex. Maple Grove Fire received the call just after 11 Monday night. Upon arrival, firefighters saw flames near the chimney of a fourplex. Several crews responded and contained the damage.
The tenants next to the fire are always concerned that it's going to grow beyond where it started and that their homes will be compromised too. And so we were able to keep it confined to that one unit.
No injuries were reported and the cause is under investigation. Wednesday is the last day on the job for Brooklyn Center Police Chief Kellis McDaniel, who is retiring. He sat down with our Kevin Miller to reflect on his time leading the department.
Brooklyn Center Police Chief Kellis McDaniel says that after 25 years in law enforcement, he's starting to feel his age.
The profession can wear on you, at your age, and I don't realize that I'm not young anymore, right?
He's been chief in Brooklyn Center for about a year and a half, and he's retiring before he gets any older. His last day is Wednesday.
I kind of use the analogy as I kind of want to ride off into the sunset, so to speak.
He started the job during a difficult chapter in Brooklyn Center's history. The city was still reeling from the Daunte Wright shooting and the civil unrest that followed. Despite the challenges, he says he's enjoyed his job.
For me, it's been a pretty good year and a half. Obviously, being the chief, you have your ups and downs. You have to make some pretty serious decisions.
He made it a top priority to rebuild the police force after many veteran officers quit or retired.
That was one of my ultimate goals, was to make sure that we're fully staffed. I've sworn in pretty close to 18 officers that are still on the force today. So that's a compliment of the department, and I think that's a compliment of myself also.
But even as he helped cops start their careers in Brooklyn Center, he began to talk about his own.
It's funny because you talk to other people that retire in law enforcement and, they say, you'll know when it's time to retire.
McDaniel knew his time had come while on a vacation away from the police department last spring.
I didn't get one call driving all the way to Montana from work, and I didn't get one call driving back. And that's when I knew, you know what, silence is okay, right? So that's when I knew right away, I got to go back and I have to do it.
But the political situation is far from silent in Brooklyn Center. The city council rejected a police reform policy last week and protest followed.
What we want justice! When do we want it now?
There's a lot going on right now in law enforcement, a lot of political things that are going on. And I just thought, do I want the politics or do I want family? And so it's a lot easier with the family, right? When I'm around the grandkids, I'm just smiling, right? They're the apple of my eye.
And as he moves on, McDaniel says he's leaving the department in a good place.
As long as people in that building are moral, ethical, and professional, good things will happen.
In Brooklyn Center, Kevin Miller, CCX News.
Brooklyn Center Police Commander Tony Grunig will take over as interim chief in February, the second time he's filled the interim role. The Robbinsdale School Board is asking the community what they'd like to see in the next superintendent.
So as people feel really unheard in today's world of government, this is people's opportunity to be heard. We are reading this, we are listening.
The district released a survey on the superintendent search. It's open until February 11th on the district's website. Meanwhile, the district is facing $17 million in budget cuts. Board Chair Renee Bowman says the district needs to keep teacher pay fair while fixing the budget.
We have things that can happen to us that are deep and ugly setbacks. And this is one of those moments here in the Robbinsdale School District. It's not pretty. But I'm going to choose to lead from a perspective of we have an opportunity here.
Union teachers are planning to host a rally against staffing cuts on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, the school board at the state's largest district is planning for a unique leadership arrangement. The Anoka-Hennepin School Board has picked 2 members to act as co-chairs of the board. Zach Argo and Casey DeShane will jointly hold the board chair seat. The decision comes after the board failed to elect a chair at its first meeting in January. The decision is pending while the district's legal team determines if the arrangement is allowed under state law. Stay with us, more news and sports in a moment.